Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and I'm so excited to share this with you. This is a sketchbook tour of something I've been working on for a little over 50 days. So the Fall Fungi Challenge, that began, I started it September 2nd, and I finished it today. So initially it was draw a mushroom every other day in the month of September, so 15 total mushrooms. But I had this little A6 Lecterm sketchbook, and I decided I wanted to go ahead and fill the whole thing because I just really love mushrooms in general. And I wrote on the top with a Posca pen. Nope, that's not it. And it's wiping off, so I'm gonna have to figure out something else for the cover, but the mushroom book, kind of in the shape of a mushroom. So let's dive in. And this whole thing is done with, it's labeled just with a regular pencil and then polychromos colored pencils. So, are you ready for this? Oh, I'm not ready. Oh, I'm so excited. They're so much fun. Okay, so a gilt mushroom. And I'm just going to do the average name because I surely can't pronounce all the Latin stuff. This is a bleeding fairy helmet, amethyst deceiver, scarlet cup, green amanita, also a death cap, shaggy mane, a mauve parachute, a jack-o'-lantern mushroom, a photed parachute, true morel, yellow parasol, wood bluet, green earth tongue, blue pink gill, angel wing, pink oyster mushroom, pixie's parasol, death cap, green elf cup, magpie ink cap, a red pine mushroom, turkey tail, flaming scaly cap, fly aragic, green jelly baby, also called chicken lips, indigo milk cap, violet web cap, rosy bonnet, vermilion wax cap, parrot toadstool, orange birch bolet, black elfin saddle, honey mushroom, blue roundhead, purple swamp brittle gill, spring tough shank, Jackson slender amanita, green cackling rusla, blue oyster mushroom, yellow patches, purple gilled lacera, wine cap, chicken of the woods, black earth tongue, pink burn cup, gray knight, hairy trumpet, wax cap, red lead roundhead, orange poor fungus. So these are all the mushrooms I drew. Now I want to talk about this specific drawing challenge. I did this while I was working on Sketchtember and while I've been doing Drawloween, and I have to say that if I was just working on this one by itself, I would have done a background. This one in particular stands out because it looks like it's just floating in the white void. And if you notice, I tried to do 2 mushrooms on every single page. So it's not just one. Nobody stands alone. But here it looks kind of strange. So while I say that on some of these, let's find a really good example here. Here I burnished with, let me show you which one I used. I used the Canon colored pencil blender. And boy, you'd think I'd have that handy, don't you? And it's been so sharpened, it's tiny now. So this is burnished for a very smooth look. While this one I didn't burnish at all, and you can see the white paper poking through, and it gives it that really soft velvet looking texture that this mushroom actually has. So sometimes burnishing is ideal and sometimes it's not. So for this one, and had I done this alone, I would have done some form of background, whether it be grass or a tree or leaves, or even like a geometric shape, like even like a circle, you know, and kind of a burnt orange for this one, and maybe a stark black for this one, and something lavender for this one, you know, something that would kind of make these pop. And then I would open myself up to a whole other range of mushrooms I wasn't able to draw because of my restraints. So because I was doing this with other challenges and I couldn't dedicate more than 2 hours per page, I was not able to draw any white mushrooms. There is a whole bunch of white, pale gray, translucent mushrooms that won't show up on a blank white void page. As you can see, this one has a little bit of white at the bottom and it's really hard to see. So the solution to that would have been draw a shape and do a negative space for the white mushrooms. But overall, because there's so many varieties, it didn't hurt too much excluding that entire range of mushrooms that are all white. But just know that there's a huge variety that is missed in this book because of how I chose to do this challenge. Now, because there is no background, your eye goes directly to the subject matter because that's all there is to see. So in that respect, it's a success. And I wrote all the names in pencil because I'm not sure if things ever change or things get combined or they find new varieties or give things new nicknames. So I didn't want that to be permanent. But this was one of my favorites to draw with the gills. This one was definitely 2 hours. The one that took the least amount of time, if you're curious, because I'm always curious when people draw things, was probably, and if you want to see what colored pencils I used for each one, I posted it that way on my Instagram. So the one that took the least amount of time was the Black Earth Tongue. And this was just a black pencil with a couple purples. And this probably took 20 minutes. That one was really, really quick. This is probably visually my favorite to look at. Just because it's so bright and I hardly ever draw things that are orange. Man, yeah, I drew a bunch. I went all in. This one was interesting. I want to talk about this one a little bit. So I used reference photos for a bunch of these. I'm not familiar with all the mushrooms around the world. I'm just not. I've only seen a few of these and I've grown only one of these in the book. But this one literally looked like scribbles and I'm like, oh, how fun. I'm gonna draw a scribble mushroom. Well, guess what? The illustration looks like scribbles too. So, oh, sorry, my cats are leaping on the furniture. This was a very interesting lesson to learn. Even though it looks fun in the photograph, when you draw something that's realistically kind of scribble looking, it's gonna look like, well, scribbles. So I would say this is probably my least successful looking mushroom. The only one we've ever grown is the pink oyster mushroom, and I will link the kit we used. We did a whole summer of grow with the kids, and it took a whole week to grow and harvest this big beautiful mushroom. And when you cook it, it actually turns kind of a palish brown gray, and it tastes really woody. It has a really good flavor. Yeah, so these are from absolutely everywhere, and if I had more time, I would put location for some of these. Some of these have moved geographically too, so that would be kind of difficult, but it would be interesting to see them on a map pinned out. But yeah, this is my fall fungi challenge all complete. Every mushroom. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.